Welcome or welcome back. We're moving into the Lockpick library now, which, while being a step down in terms of difficulty to understand on a first read, it is a major shake-up once again to the levels we'll be seeing with its big mechanic. It's got some notable challenge to it though in its own right, as there is still one key thing you'll have to learn pretty early into it to really get through this world, but as per usual, let's get the spoilers out of the way. Spoilers for the following mechanics: bulk doors, master keys, blank doors, blast doors, exact keys, ores and door effects, golden doors, brown doors, pure keys and doors, negative keys and doors, sign flip keys, negative brown keys, bicolor doors, star and unstar keys, and negative master keys. But without any further ado, new mechanic, combo doors. They're relatively simple in comparison to some of these recent mechanics, especially if you understand bicolor doors fully, but in short, combo doors are just doors with multiple locks on them. That means you could need multiple types of keys to open them, but all the costs from those keys will apply as usual to the outside color. So for this level, all of these doors will need various amounts of keys to actually open, but will spend however many keys of black after doing so. For this level, we'll need to lose 24 black, which means opening every combo lock at the top. There's a couple that require 0 keys to open, but given the full pink lock on the final combo door, we know we have to open the top left door first before taking any pinks. The only other option takes more keys than the one with the blank pink, so we'll open the cheaper one first. Then we can take all of our pinks without any issue. After that, the only notable thing to see is that we'll have to open the cyan blast at some point, but no cyan locks are more than 2, so we can simply take one or more cyan and one more orange and open a couple more of the doors. And then lastly, we need to clear our orange, open the other combo door, take your 2 cyan, and leave. And this is our first demonstration of combo doors being used a bit more uniquely. The key difference between these and a traditional door is that you can have multiple smaller locks, as we said, rather than just one larger lock. But this is the first door that truly shows how that works. As before, combo doors, you'd effectively consider this a -5 lock red, but now it's split up into 5 separate -1 locks, meaning you only need -1 to actually open it, and it'll still add 5 to your red count. This sets you to 2 red. So effectively, it sums up the amount of locks rather than just needing that count. After that, though, we unfortunately actually need to think. Going through red quickly soft locks, so we must open the white combo door. The first move after that is first, and the whites are practically first as the one lock really wouldn't lead to any progress. This leaves us with access to 1 positive and negative master and 2 red. The negative master should be spent on the combo door, as adding any copies to any other door would be just completely pointless. As for the positive, that takes a little investigation. You'll need to get down to -1 red twice, which can be done via the combo door when at 1 red. The -1 red would get you there once, but then it'd be impossible to actually get to that count again. So we must master the white door. From here, the path is effectively first, and while it might have seemed relatively simple here, I know combo doors can be very confusing a first time through, and it certainly was for me at first. So just truly learning how they actually work was, as per usual with the backside, the real challenge of these early levels. Our first blasts on a combo door will need to get to a total of at least 40 keys amongst the 4 colors to win here. First thing to identify is the cheapest ways across, which is first through the orange and then the white. Now we just need to optimize, which happens before we even cross the line of exact keys. We need to take the 1 right key behind us and open the blast door next to it before we take the exact white, so that way we won't actually be wasting any. Then going up the layers, for orange there's no point opening either blast door for the 2 orange inside, as it'll just lead to a net loss, so just take the 2 oranges that are already available outside. For purple, use the 1 purple at the start to open the blast door next to it, as well as the exact key on the right for its blast door, then take them all. And it's basically the exact same deal for cyan, another single cyan next to a blast, and the exact same situation for the exact. And sure enough, that adds up perfectly to 40 keys, letting you leave the level. An unsurprising expansion for combo doors. If it has gold Opio on it, it'll have the properties of that door type. We'll have to get to -8 cyan for this level, which will force quite a few things. First, we'll need the combo door at the start, which requires a positive amount of basically everything. To get positive purple, we need to open the combo door off to the right, which needs negative purple, which will be acquired from the combo door gating the right side, as well as the -2 orange. We can only get to -2 by taking the -2 while at 0, so before that we'll have to get to the 2 orange and spin them afterwards. And thus, we'll have to master the -1 orange to get the 2 orange. However, this is where we have to realize something, which is that is actually impossible to open the combo cyan guarding the 3 purple without a master. This is because we know the combo cyan at the start is first, and thus we'll need the 1 orange alongside the rest at some point to open it. However, the moment we take those negative oranges, we're never going to be able to have positive again. But the only way to get positive purples is behind that door on the right, so we'll have to master it. And so we spend our white on the door for a master key. Then we can progress past to get -2 purple, go grab the master and clear that door as discussed, and to maximize our positive purple pickups, we should grab the -3 purple and open the -4 lock door to go to 0 purple. Now we just need white, which will spend our oranges, but we can gain 1 back from the top since we're safe to spend 2 purples. Finally, we can open that combo door to go to -4 cyan, master the -1 lock cyan to flip to positive, and grab the other 4, and spend our white to flip once more to -8 cyan, and finally open that last combo door to leave. The main goal of this level is getting an absolutely equal number of red and cyan, so when we open that combo door towards the end, we'll stay at 0 black. First question is, do we even need any negative master keys from the first half? We have to decide before crossing over, so let's look at if we could get a proper amount without that. We'll always be working with 4 white and -7 purple when we're over there, so the 2 more complicated combo doors at the top will result in gaining 3 of either color, while the bicolor doors below it will always result in -4 cyan and 7 red per open. So just going off of that on a cursory glance, we cannot reach an equal amount off that alone. And since there's no downside to going for the biggest amount of master keys, we can simply grab the topmost combo door, which will gain us -9 master keys when opened. Then, crossing over, we have to identify what we actually need to make accessible. Considering the top 2 only give us 3 and the bottom 2 both give more than 3, absolutely, we'll just need the bottom 2. And so at that point, we just need the least common multiple of 7 and 4, which is 28, and thus we need to add 3 copies to the red door and 6 to the top. And after opening all that, we'll be at a perfect count of everything and can get out of here. Unsurprisingly, brown keys will tornado completely brown, including the locks, and as per usual, it doesn't work if there is any pure involved. But again, this could still have some unique applications due to how combo doors inherently work. Regardless, as for the level, we need to reach 0 of everything besides masters and brown by the end. So what do we use our brown on now? Well, we know the combo pink door needs to be opened normally since there's multiple negative pink locks that couldn't be opened with brown, so we can exclude that and any negative pink lock doors in general. To take a slight detour from that, that means we won't ever be at 1 pink, so we must use our brown to clear the first combo door at the bottom. And of course, we'll need to use brown on the top door as well, but wait, looking ahead on the top, there's a combo door with a blank lock on that door, meaning if it was brown, you'd have to simultaneously have 0 and 2 brown to open it, which needless to say is impossible. So we need to spin the other 3 elsewhere. And since we're given a -1 master on top, means we can add a copy to the bottom door, so we'll spend 10 brown from all that instead. Now we'll first into opening the top door and sign flipping the purples, which gets us to 2 purple. Then we can gain our negative pinks alongside a negative master and think what to do next. Looking ahead again, to get to 0 cyan by the end, we need to open the combo door cyan on the bottom normally, meaning we must have 2 purples for that. But before that, we'll also need to get down to -2 purple. Yet the next combo door only gives -1 purple when opened. Well, we do have a negative master key, so we can add a copy of that and then open the purple blast to go down to 0. And then we can just open the combo door twice to reach -2. Then we'll need to open the combo brown below, as we won't really have another opportunity later, and figure out how to spin them without actually, ruining anything. Which thankfully, that's actually quite easy, thanks to our master key. Opening the middle door with brown would only remove 3 and leave us unable to lose any more, whether we add a copy or not. But the combo cyan can remove exactly 4, so we can add a copy, and with the combo brown above, we can uncoast it afterwards, allowing us to progress completely normally. Then it's quite straightforward shot to the end, but overall, quite the tricky level, honestly. We're already on the bonus levels? Okay. We need -4 black, so one of these paths will not be used, at least not fully. We can identify which that is pretty easily though, as the top right one requires a positive purple key after a blank purple lock, and since there's no way to actually gain purple back from any doors, that final door cannot be opened, and thus the other 4 paths are where we'll actually be getting our blacks. First move will have to be opening the purple combo on the right. Since no doors besides the unopenable need a positive purple, we can safely go down to 0. We're unable to open any doors on the right after this, and going down to 0 white right now would soft lock, so we have to open the cyan in the top left. After that though, we can in fact go down to 0 white from the door directly below, and lock that in with the star, and while you're there you might as well lock in orange as well. Afterwards, we can open the 3 available doors on the right half, ultimately setting us to -1 purple and cyan. We can then safely open the top left door and follow that up with, again, the one right below it, now leaving us with 1 cyan. From here, all the doors can be safely opened without really any issue, so that'll give us our -4 black to get out of here. Okay, genuinely, I did not know how to mathematically solve this level on my own. I could clearly identify that it was a math puzzle, but I just did not understand how to do it on my own. However, I was pretty easily able to solve it through just a little bit of guessing and checking, so if you're into that, you could easily do that as well. But full disclosure, the way that I'm about to talk about is not what I did or what I figured out myself. It is straight from the Lockpick wiki. But regardless, it's pretty clear that the equation for the door is 11x plus 14y, where x is, I think, orange and y is, I think, cyan. And if I'm wrong, you can just flip them. We can bring back our old friend modular math to solve this, since 11x and 14y are both 0 when mod by their respective numbers. So, for example, taking mod 14 of the entire equation results in 11x mod 14 is equal to 9. So then what is the value for x that when mod 14 is equal to 9? Well, starting at 1 and counting up, x being 11 works. So we can thus say orange needs to be 11, and cyan, by substituting into the equation, we can find needs to be 944. Now the bit in the description about how you could get hypothetically infinite solutions, or whatever it says, is kind of based on the fact you could continuously add 14 to orange and subtract 11 from cyan to get continuously more valid solutions that all, they're all functional. But the one I stumbled into was the fact that 768, which is just 512 plus 256, is a valid value for cyan, and that just worked for me, so. For this, we need to get down to 0 of everything besides masters, but basically everything depends on another color. We can at least know that to clear our white, we need to get down to 1 black, and then we can clear that last one off the top right combo door. We can immediately know we'll need to use 2 masters on the bottom left to get rid of all of our orange at the end, and additionally, we'll need at least an additional copy of every other door, besides the black and white one. We can then open the 2 on the right once pretty confidently, now leaving us to get rid of 5 more cyan. We can't lose any orange yet without needing more masters than we actually have to clear various colors, and thus we can't get to a precise 5 purple to go down the chain. So we'll need to go down to 4 pink first, and then we need to add a copy to both the pink related doors. To clear the remaining purple, we can only do it via removing 3, then 2, then 1, as 3 and 3 would mean we can't get rid of all of our pink, and God forbid doing 3 opens on 1, so that will use our final master. And basically that gets us to the end of the level. But just to speak it out, you clear 3 purple, then clear 4 cyan, then 3 pink, clear cyan fully, then lose another 2 purple so you can clear pink, and you probably get it from here. We'll need to get to a positive amount of black, followed by negative to actually get out for this one. Your first thought may be the bottom right black though, as it directly provides negative black and positive black through the same route. Hypothetically, you could add a copy to it, so you could open it once, spin the black on the bottom, then do it again to get the -4 afterwards. But to do this, you have to spend first 2 pures to remove your purple, then 1 for the white, 1 for the cyan, another 2 to get -1 masters, 1 for the pink, and finally at least 1 more to open the blaster, totaling to needing at least 8 pure keys, which, needless to say, we don't have. So, given it being a blaster, we can safely exclude the bottom one as an option. The middle black door will always provide negatives first, but what we need is positives first, so this will also not work. Thus, the top door is the one that we'll actually need. We'll of course need to spend 2 pures to add a copy, as well as 2 more for the 4 pink and -9 cyan. With the current keys, if we open the black door, we'd get 2 black keys from it, so we'll need to grab 3 more of a key color to actually go to a negative amount from opening it. Which, considering we can only spend 1 more key anyways, would have to be from opening the door to make the 3 purple keys accessible. And from there, it's a very straightforward exit. Open the combo door once, open the first door to get to the exit, grab the purple, and then open it again to get your negatives and leave. This one is a doozy and a half. First things first, we need to get and save all the blue keys, then use the negative blue combo door to effectively sign flip over to 3 blue so we can clear the aura from the blank brown. We'll need to open the blue door before the -1, which means flipping over to a positive before taking the -1. Thus, we'll have to have an additional copy of the combo door so we can actually flip back to positive a second time. And so at some point we will in fact need to open the combo master door up top. And also we'll have to star all blue before opening the 1 lock at the bottom, but that's not that big of a deal. To actually get to the star key, we need to clear all of our pink, which can only be done via the -1, 1, 4, and -9 doors, meaning we'll have to clear the blank master gate first, and since we can't go bottom route in that area, we'll have to clear the path with brown on the top half. The question then is, how do we actually clear this and then get down to 0 afterwards? Well, we know we'll have to open the -8 door to access, or to gain access to the 1 lock pink, and the only way to get to -brown is via the combo brown at the top, which effectively multiplies your current brown by -3 when opened. Since we can't access the 70 white until after removing all our pink, and since there's no way to do that until after opening the -8 combo brown up top, we'll likely be using that white door to clear the leftover -brown that we get when we can flip back to positive brown via the combo in the top left. So we'll want to reach some number around -78 from the combo door, which would technically be possible by reaching 26 brown, but that's not really an attainable number without ruining other things via needing excessive master keys. So something else must be done. And it just so happens we have 2 other types of sign flipping combo doors that could be made brown. So if we instead get to 78 brown, which is quite doable, and then add a copy to, say, the pink combo door on the bottom left, then close it and open it, it'll take us perfectly to -78 brown. Finally, we can actually make some progress physically after that, opening the 3 blue doors and the 6 lock master, then grabbing the brown star to clear the 17 and master gate in the bottom right. Then you can grab the masters, and we'll need to master a couple of those just out of the way at the top, specifically the negative master door and negative blue at the top. The foremost specifically because we'll need to access the negative combo pink, and we can't do that from the left side. From there, there's nothing else that we'll actually need to open with our masters, so we can just sign flip and add a copy to the pink and blue door as mentioned before. Finally, you can unlock your brown, flip over to -78, and uncross various doors. From there, it's a fairly straightforward route given what we've already discussed, so I'll just let it play out. For this, we just need to get to the end of all 3 paths, and frankly, it's a pretty easy thing to do. You just look a bit ahead and make sure that you have the next door that you need to open, its counterpart, I guess, available. I don't really think I can explain what you have to do here very well beyond that, so, like, if you need to see how it's solved, you can just watch what I'm doing right now, but I assure you it's really easy. You can probably do it yourself. That was, overall, a lot less difficult than I actually expected on a replay. I still think it is overall easier for probably anyone than the previous 2 to get a grip on, although 9E is definitely quite a challenge. But I did expect it to be harder than it was, at least, overall. But still, realizing the true difference between combo doors and just a door that requires multiple types of keys, that being that you have to meet the lock requirements, not the sum of the locks, is a major hurdle, and probably the closest this world gets to the figure it out yourself challenge that the last 2 worlds tend to throw at the player at the start. But same as those worlds, I don't think it's all that bad afterwards. It just means you gotta consider one more possibility sometimes. But besides that, the only thing I have to say about this world is that it probably has the most grating song of the entire soundtrack. It's the only one I've just toned off the music for while recording and playing. Anyways, World 10 up next. I'm anticipating it being incredibly hard, perhaps the hardest singular world that I've played before. If memory serves at least. If nothing else, though, I am certain that it will be one of the deepest ones mechanically. Regardless, I hope to see you there. See ya.